Okay, let's go over the 2022-2023 GMEA All-State Middle School Snare Drum Etude. So, first things first, we start in a nice slow tempo, 72. My roll speed's going to be 32nd note subdivision. So, the quarter note roll would be about that tempo. House top accents. So we gotta come in fortissimo, but we gotta make sure that we have enough room to play those house tops without getting too aggressive, like getting a bad sound out of the drum. So you should start loud, and then get those nice and loud. Then back off just a little bit here at line 2. Note that it's just an accent now, so you don't have to dig in as hard as the house top accent. Watch these 32nd note figures. You can just think of them as like 16th notes in double time. When I get here, 8th note equals quarter note. So it's the exact same rhythm between the first measure of line 3 and the second measure of line 3. So 2, 3, 4, 5, 1, 2, 3, or 1, 2, 1, 2. Does that make sense? The next couple of lines are pretty easy. Make sure your drags, so closed doesn't mean buzzed. Closed means just a diddle. Okay? All that's piano, so. No repeat. For forte, at this dotted quarter note roll, you want to break apart just a little early so you can have time to play the drag. So have just a little bit of separation there between the end of the roll and the drag. With a med, that would sound like this, starting at the quarter note roll at the forte. Okay, so I'm cutting off that dotted quarter roll just a hair early so I have room to play the grace notes of the drag. Skipping ahead to line 6, towards the end, I like to do, this is the first, second, third, fourth, fifth measure of line 6. I like to go right, right, right. So right, right, right. Basically everything right there. Obviously the rolls will be right, left. And so just kind of do like an accent attack. And then same thing with this next, the last measure of line 6 going into line 7. I like to be right hand heavy on that. So right, left, right, 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 left, right, right, right. Okay? Quarter note rolls after that in line 7, some half note rolls. GP, grand pause. Time is still going during those. Don't treat them as fermatas. Time is still going. That's just a way to indicate that nothing is happening. Okay? It's a fancy way of saying, for example, if you were in an orchestra, it's a fancy way of saying nobody is playing at all. But keep time through that. So I'm not going to pause. I'm just going to go straight through on that. We come back in at pianissimo, and we gradually crescendo back to forte, and then everything else is just kind of straight up 16th note patterns, things that you've probably seen before. We're going to play them all right hand lead. I like to do all my, I meant to say this earlier, I like to do all my drags right-handed. It's going to be more consistent to play them with the same hand than it is going to be to play them alternating. So when I get to these drags at line 10, right, 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 right. Just the same if you go back to line 4. I like to play all of those with the same hand just to make it a little bit easier on myself, and it's going to be a lot more consistent. Hope this helps.